So it's October 1st, and I thought I was going to provide an update on some of these mango trees. I'm not going to go through each and every variety. I'll probably just go through the ones that has some fruits on there so we can take a look at it. And then also kind of, I noticed I made some mistakes on some of the varieties. Sometimes said on my prior videos when it's one thing, I think I mistakenly called another variety. So right now we're gonna take a look at Little Gem. So this is Little Gem. It's doing quite well. There's a bunch of little fruitlets right here. There's also this cluster right there, right next to the branch. Quite a few other ones on here too. I was gonna go ahead and pick some of this and see what happens. This one's a little kind of nubbin sized one, but pick it and see if it ripes. Okay. Okay. This is Super Julie. There's 3 fruits on here, and again I'm gonna pick this one, see what happens, see if it ripes. And this is a little kind of nubbin sized fruit. We'll see how it goes. Okay, some more updates on the mangoes that has fruit. This is a Prom Chimera. Still too green, but this is supposed to be a sweet green eating variety. I'll probably pick it in a month or so, I think, just to test. This is Maha Chinook. There was actually 4 very nice sized fruit. We ate 2 of the other ones. That's a kind of a green mango. It's a good green mango. So Maha Chinook, 2 good sized ones. These are still very green. I'm not even sure when they're gonna ripe. Okay. Oh, this is Ambrosia. They look very nice right now, but don't look like they're ready to be picked. So maybe in a month and a half or so. Okay, here's some more fruits. This one's the rootstock fruit. This is the Lover in Manila. The other 2 fruits was picked. My wife ate them, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick this one and let this ripen. See how it is. It's pretty fibrous mango, so not really expecting anything spectacular, but I'll use the seed, save the seed, and grow it out. See if it might produce anything differently. I mean, it is in a area with a lot of other very good quality mango varieties, so maybe it might produce something interesting, something different than the rootstock. Okay, so this is Sweet Tart, and look at this kind of cracking and so forth, this little nubbin. Go ahead and pick this and put it, set it aside and see what happens. This is Angie. I'm not sure if I'm ready to pick this yet. Maybe we're supposed to expect some hot weather coming up this week, and I think I'm gonna give it one more week to get some of that heat that we're expecting, and then I'm gonna go ahead and pick it. Okay. Up next is St. Maui. There was 2 fruits on here that I didn't really notice until later on. here they are. That's pretty decent size. Not that large, but you know, good size. So we'll see. This looks like it might ripen soon. Okay, so this is ST Maui. Okay, so this two right here is this is Cat Saigon, Jin Huang, Golden Queen, lots of names for it. This didn't seem like it developed into a full-size fruit, but this is supposed to be quite a large fruit. I think I've seen pictures with about a foot long or so. I'm gonna go ahead and pick one of this and see what happens. See if it ends up ripening or not. There's like cracks and stuff on here, so I'm gonna pick this. See how it goes. And lots of times I keep on calling this one Floragon. This one's actually Dupree Saigon, so just wanted to correct that mistake. Okay, moving on. Okay, so this one is Graham. Unfortunately, I had tons of fruitlets and it looked like they set, and then just within a week they all just fell off. There's one fruit left right here. Definitely not ready yet, but yeah, all the fruitlets dropped. I even had one that was this side, like kind of fruited around the same time. This one, it was like around the same size as this, and then just 1 week it just dropped for no apparent reason. I don't know why they aborted all the fruits, but yep. So that's Graham. So this is the Keitt mango. Here's the fruit that I'm gonna pick. Look, there's a lot of kind of lentil cells building up. Again, not really quite a full-size fruit, but it's definitely not one of those nubbins. I picked one early that was one of those nubbin, and it ended up ripening quite fine. So this one, go ahead, pick it. I didn't know that this variety had a red blush, which was kind of interesting. So, okay, this is Keitt. This is my seedling. It's actually a seedling of a seedling. And as you can see, it has one really nice size fruit right here. I don't think it's ready to be picked yet, but possibly in a month or so, I think it'll be ready. And it's pretty nice. It looks just like the mother tree that it came from, but I'm hoping it might display some different qualities. The original mother tree came from. The fruit has a little bit of fiber, more fiber than I would kind of like, and so I'm hoping this one might be a little bit different. I mean, so far it looks the same, but we'll see how it goes. But waiting for this to ripen. And again, this one's a seedling. It came from my seedling tree that I've been calling California Romid, and this is the seedling of that. So here's the tree. It's about 4 years old, and it bloomed for the first time this year. This is an update on my California Romid tree. Unfortunately, it's a pretty bad year. Lots of blooms. Actually had 2 sets of blooms. They all kind of either failed or kind of got infected by some sort of fungus. I had tons of these small nubbins right here, which is tiny fruits right here, but had a few late blooms, so I got some large fruits here, a few bunches. Another bunch right here. But that's about it. Not much. I had a ton of these little nubbins. This is part of the first two blooms. But it looks like I might have, out of this large tree, looks like I might have like a nice bunch here. About like 6 fruits there. Another 2 large fruits here. Okay, well, that's my update on my California remit. This is an update on a seedling, Laverne Manila. This one is a very unusual as in terms that it produced a very long, elongated fruit. I have a hunch that it's either pollinated by Valencia Pride or it's possibly a Valencia Pride seed that got mixed up with the Laverne Manila seeds. This fruit's about 8 inches long. If you look at it, it's quite a long fruit. Here it is, about 8 inches. Pretty interesting fruit. I had this in the past. I'm gonna let this one ripe and see what happens if it develops any colors. So that's an update on this one, Laverne Manila seedling. So these are some of the mangoes picked. I was gonna just go over it and see how it looks like. So this right here is a little gem. The stem is pretty dry, so I think this is gonna ripe pretty well. It's a bit yellow too. Little gem. These are the ones I got 3 that kind of clearly looks like nubbins. So this is a nubbin. Pretty sure there's a seed husk without an embryo on this, but I'm hoping it ripens fine and then get to taste it. Okay. This one's a Super Julie. The stem's pretty dry, so even though there's not much kind of color on here, it's a pretty dry stem, so I'm hoping it ripes. We'll see what happens. Again, this one's pretty sure it's a nubbin, seed husk with no embryo. And this one is a sweet tart, little tiny nubbin again, but pretty dry stem, a little bit of black scab here, but I think it will ripen perfectly, you know, just so I could gonna get a sample of how it tastes like from my own trees. Okay, this one's a Keitt mango. Also really nice dry stem on this, and I didn't realize this variety has like a red blush, so that was kind of interesting. Lots of kind of cracking of the skin, so I think this would ripen out perfectly. This one's Cat Saigon Jinhuang. This is the only one I picked after picking it. I think it's I think I might have picked it too prematurely. Doesn't look like it might ripe, but we'll see what happens. And these two are, I mean, a Jinhuang is a big fruit. It's usually like a 1-footer, so I don't know why these fruits are small. I mean, it's bigger than most nubbins, and also this cactus is a little bit small too. So I don't know if these has any embryos in them, but you know, once it ripens, I'll find out when I cut into the seed husk. Okay, and this large one here is a Laverne Manila seedling. Has some red here. This one came off really nicely, so it's probably gonna ripen fine. But this one's a very fibrous mango. You know, it's I would compare the fiber to like a Tommy Atkins. You know, on par with a Tommy Atkins mango, but it has good flavor. So we'll see. We're gonna cut it when it ripes and see how it looks like. This is my seedling one that I've been calling California Remit. So I plan to eat this green. So this one's just being picked so we can eat green. In terms of a green sour mango, this is probably one of the best sour mangoes I've had, and I've eaten quite a lot of sour mangoes, from grocery stores in different countries, and this one is pretty good. It's has good flavor. The texture's not too dense. It's crispy enough. It has some slight terpene smell to it, but it's very mild terpenes, just enough to kind of give you kind of a nice aroma without it being too kind of offensive or off-putting. So on this, I usually eat it very green like this before it even develops a hard seed husk, or I eat it when it's kind of like a mature green while it's still hard. When I let this fruit ripen, it has a bit of uneven ripening, even though the flavor is pretty good. Has a bit of uneven ripening and fiber that's noticeable. It's nothing, say, like Tommy Atkins fiber, but it's still noticeable. So that's why we kind of usually eat this green. It's excellent green mango. The only unfortunate thing about it is it used to be a very productive variety for me. The last 3 years, I would say it has not been productive at all. The last 3 years has coincided with kind of rains at the same time as blooming, so that could be the case. So it's done better for me when it was a dry winter. Since it's been since it blooms during the rain, it has not been very successful. Lots of the fruits develop into nubbins, lots of them fall off, and it has not been productive at all the last 2 years, unfortunately. But when I do get fruit, it's really good, and we do enjoy this. Okay. So, Little Gem, Super Julie, and a Sweet Tart. Overall, this year has not been a very good year for my mangoes. So whatever fruits I can get this year, it'd be nice to just kind of try and enjoy it. But hopefully the next year that's coming up, my trees are gonna be a bit more productive. We'll see. Okay. Thanks everyone for tuning in.